Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome
Hello,
to
hello.
season 2 of Conversations with Winsala. I have someone I've been trying to get on this podcast for the past 10 years. We have Yewi Sky, Yewi Marquis, all the
Since
way
how long has
from,
the podcast been in existence?
I've been trying to get you on for a while. So, for those that don't
Yeah.
really know, for those that are new to this podcast or to this show, she is the one behind the scenes. She's the one that does all the legwork. You know how, like, when you're recording movies or we are trying to put out movies, you have the directors, you have the producers, you have the mic people. Yeah, she's the one doing
Mm.
all that. So how's it going now? How's it going you one day?
Shala,
How's
shala.
so
I'm good though. I'm
mm,
fine, thank you.
I see you went to do 30 December. I want to be like you in the future.
See, I'm still in Dirty December mode. It's taking me like weeks. I go back, what, like the 4th of January? It's taking me at least 2 weeks to adjust back to American workaholic mode. So I guess
Yeah.
that's probably why you've also not been getting me because I've been in transition mode, transitioning my head, transitioning my work,
Mm.
everything. I don't know if people can relate, but it was a little tough, you know. It was a little tough. But
Did you
December
work
was
in
fun.
did you work in Nigeria or you were just off work?
I was awful. I needed a break, so I took the entire time off. There were like
Oh,
2 days when
nice.
I was supposed to be working, which I did some work, but man, Nigeria is sweet in December when you have money.
Yeah.
So I did some work, but I was off mentally. I was mentally like checked out for most of my
Mm,
time there. So, but and that was good for me to just
mm,
catch up with friends, enjoy like being there, like being present.
mm.
So yeah.
I had a few friends that went to Nigeria too, and they had a nice time.
Uh, December is fun. You know that thing that they say like you go in December, you now feel like you want to move back to Nigeria,
Yeah,
go
I
a
mean,
different time.
I've had people say they want to move back to Nigeria. I'm like,
Even me, I'm one of them. I'm like, I'm going back.
hmm,
I'm going back soon. I really do want to go back at some point, but just not yet. But
hmm,
Nigeria was fun. Nigeria is fun when you have money and when
uh,
you are there temporarily. So
mm,
if you live there, I'm sure people that live there will say a difference. They'll get a difference. Their reality is slightly different. I mean,
mm.
but Nigeria has also had. Let's not gloss over the challenges and
Challenges,
realities of
yeah,
Nigeria. Nigeria has
yeah.
its own challenges too. It's just when you have money, you can kind of work around those challenges. Or
Mm.
again, if you're there for a short while, you don't have to really live with them. But if you're living there on a day-to-day basis, the reality is different.
Yeah. So, towards the end of this podcast, I'm going to ask you a question about the tech terrain because I noticed you went for one of their is it seminar or conference?
I went for a I guess I would call it a conference. A conference for tech. It's called Tech Connect Africa.
Okay, I will ask you about remind me to ask you or we'll talk about it towards the end of this episode. So yeah,
Okay.
season one was a success. I have had a lot of people come in or text
Yeah.
me, email me, and I've had people reach out, even different platforms. Amazon reached
That's
out.
awesome.
Yeah,
Uh-uh. You
Amazon
did
reached
not
out
tell
to
me
me.
Amazon reached out. We're going to the next level. Oh. Hey,
No. So
Shash.
this I didn't tell you about Amazon reaching out to me is so the way they reached out, they were like, "Oh, you need to
Uh-huh.
put your podcast because it's
Oh, on
getting a
our
lot of reach
platform.
on a platform." I'm like, if
That's
you're gonna,
awesome.
yeah, but they should talk about money. I'm not about to drop
You
my
will put it first. You put it first,
no,
get the
no,
place, then the money
no,
will come after.
no. So I
Oh.
mean, so yeah, here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were able to remember we were able to put it on different platforms
Yeah.
except Amazon Music.
Oh, the
So
challenge with Amazon again.
I can't remember what the issue was, but I think there was a reason I didn't do that. The reason that we didn't do that, but when they reached out, they were talking about like the way they came in, like oh, wanted to put on a platform, and I thought maybe they're
Mm.
gonna say something about we're gonna give you like some stipend, even if it's $1,
Your mouth like stipend. How
even
many
if it's one
ads do you
dollar.
have?
No, I don't have any ads. I don't have anything. I've not made any money off this.
Yeah, so you start small now. You start small. You have one season. We'll do a second season. Then you never know. You never know what could come up after that. Sure, we have plug in Amazon Music. We just go and tell Tolu
Oh,
that Tolu, what's up?
wait now.
Hook us up.
So after I got the email, I had to call Tolu up like, Mr. Man, what are you
Oh,
people doing? What's the problem? Why you reaching out to me without talking money? But here's the thing, right?
mm,
I'm not after the money. I'm not. You know, originally when this came up, it was supposed to be like an IG live thing. It
thing,
was
yeah.
supposed to be recorded to be posted on different platforms as a podcast. You know,
Mm,
so I'm not really after the money. I'm more or less trying to disseminate information about what people don't know about certain things in tech. So that was
yeah.
the original idea. So yeah, season one, yeah. So I've had even a few of my job hunt interviews. I've been able to talk about my podcast on those interviews, and
Mm,
like, oh, give
oh,
us link, let us go and listen to what you've had to say.
awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good.
Well
Um,
done, oh. I know you're putting a lot of work into it.
I
Me, I
mean,
was just behind the scenes doing a little leg work here and there, but you did all the
yeah,
work, so well done.
we try. I had few of our mutual friends come on too. I think one
Yeah,
of the most popular episodes is the one with Ekene, the lawyer.
yeah, because it's not something that's talked about often.
Yes, yes. And the thing is about that is that we didn't even have enough time to even
Mm,
dig deep. But I plan to bring her in
I'm gonna say
again.
bring her back for season two.
Definitely bringing her back for season two. But yeah, it was. But what was your, I would say, opinion about how the whole process went about?
Um, I think you know how it all started, right? It started as like an idea. It was just more like, I have this idea. I realized I have a lot of friends that work in tech, and I think it would be cool to bring people together to share their just share their ideas on like a bigger scale, talk about what they do, and going from that ideation phase to like actually now talking to, okay, let's do it in podcast format. What are the like rights, like what would I call them now? Platforms
Yeah.
to record. Then we talk through, okay, it's going to be mostly virtual because most of these people are not in the same place.
Yes.
What platform would allow me to do that? Then finding the platform that we now started talking about, okay, how are we going to be editing podcast? And how are we going to be promoting it? And little by little, everything just came together.
Mm,
And then now scoping out like the topics, okay, who are we going to invite? Who is going to be our guest? What are they going to talk about? And then plugging into your network and realizing that, okay, I have a lot of people within my network that can actually come on and reach out to them. They're down, let's do it. And then recording, then it's live. For me, it's seeing and observing behind the scenes was kind of rewarding.
mm,
Like how, like when you put your mind to something, yeah, watching it go from idea to reality
yeah.
was rewarding.
Yeah.
And then the sky's the limit. We're talking about money, we're talking about people reaching out. These things, like, it's you have to put in the work, and as you keep putting in the work, these other things will come gradually. So that's one thing I'm very sure of. I like the episodes. I guess I kind of saw everything come together. So I have my personal favorites as well, but yeah, I'll pause here. What was
Yeah.
your favorite thing about working on it?
Yeah. So I think I said my major highlight would be getting those platforms, getting the instrument to be able to do this. Because I remember talking to you, and you're like, "Oh, you can use this particular platform to
Mm,
record." I was like, "Really?" Because in my mind, when I see people do podcasts, I thought you have to be in the same place to record.
no,
You have
with
to get the
microphone and studio
equipment.
setup.
Yes,
No.
my mind. So I was like, okay, how do I go about this? Because initially I've had like this idea, like, okay, I want to do this vision. I've had this is like maybe 2019. I reached out to somebody who was in Florida, and she was like, yeah, you
Mm,
can record, but she didn't tell me the
how?
equipment to
Mm,
do. She was like, how do you intend getting people to where you are since you are not like in the same location? So when I spoke with you and you said you can use this one, you can use this, I was like, oh wow, that's serious, that's dope. So I've been able to like record people someone was in the UK, the first episode. Ayo was in
mm-hmm.
the UK, Forward was in the UK. I had Lanre who was in Seattle then. I had
That's
Ekene.
someone in like one or two people in Canada too.
Yes, I had somebody in Canada. I had somebody in South Africa. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I had
know
someone in
people.
Africa. I had someone in South Africa. I had someone in New York, and I had someone in Atlanta. So it was like, I would
So you
say,
really had only one person like that was in the same space as you, or even same city
yes,
as you,
yes,
and
only
you still
one
did it
person.
virtually.
I did everything
That's the
virtually.
power of technology.
Yep, yep. So it was something
And the
that I.
sound was really good.
Yes. So the first episode, I guess, because it was the first episode, I struggled a
Mm.
little bit with the sound. I was trying to be, I would say, too perfect. I was inside the closet, closed every window, switch off the air conditioning, switch off the fan. Like, okay, I had to even plan the time of the day when it was going to be
Mm.
quiet
So
around
everything
the
be
area.
quiet.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it was a learning curve. Even
Experience,
editing, yeah,
yeah.
even editing, it took me like 3 days to edit the first episode because I was trying to like nitpick. But eventually, I was like, you know what? Um, as we,
Imperfections are okay
yeah,
too.
yeah. So as we record, you get better. You get better while recording to
Mm-hmm.
reduce the editing time. So that's my highlights of the whole season
Wow,
one. Yeah,
that's awesome.
and
Yeah.
I know it's always good to like leverage your network.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
mm,
Yes.
Very good to leverage your network. It was when we were drawing up the list of people we're going to invite for the podcast. I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people that
I
are
actually know
doing
a lot of
well,
people,
and are
cool
doing
people.
well. Yeah, and are doing well, and they know their stuff. Like they can go
Yeah.
all day talking about what they do. I was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Nigerians, Africans in general are doing amazing things like all
Yeah.
over the world. I'm so inspired every day. I like to watch stuff around like Africans and Nigerians, what people are doing. I follow social media channels, I watch on YouTube. And at least every day I read an article or watch a video about, or I learn about someone new who's doing something cool. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, we also, and a lot of us have passion for like our countries, like where we come from. So we're not just doing these things for ourselves or for our own personal gratification. We're also trying to find a way to take change back home. And I just find it so inspiring. So
Mm-hmm.
now knowing people personally that are now doing some of these things, it's like, wow, in 20 years, who knows where everybody will
Yep.
be?
Yep. And
Yeah.
I'm getting old, so
I guess you know,
we have to start.
so
We have to
so
start thinking maturely, thinking,
yeah.
solving problems. That I guess that's one of the things that would be a driving force behind our
Yeah.
ideas. Because it's a different thing creating cool stuff, but those
Mm-hmm.
cool stuff need to solve problems. It needs to be tangible.
Yeah, so
That's the only way you
and it's
can.
a reality for you because you start to see how it affects you. You start to see how it affects your children. Like now, we're in our age group, like we're starting families. So a lot of people like we like being abroad, but some people want to be home. But it's like, okay, being home, is that the environment I see myself in? What can I do to change it? What can I do to make it a better place for myself, my
Mm,
family? So I guess also stepping into that mindset of seeing it as it's not just you, but you want to create something better that other people could benefit from. It changes like the way you approach problem
yeah.
solving too,
Mm-hmm.
because you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it to help other people and
Mm.
potentially give yourself money that could also help you live the life that you want to live or make you be more comfortable, give your children the life that you always dreamed that you would give them. So there's
Oshé,
just so many driving
Oshé,
forces
pastor.
the more you adult.
You're
Even
preaching,
the
oh.
pastor.
You're preaching, oh. You're dropping bars.
I'm
So,
just saying.
so question. Before even like
Mm-hmm.
before we go deeper into this, so can you briefly
Mm-hmm.
tell us what you do? Just a caption of your educational background, and your work experience,
Mm.
and what you currently do.
Yes. Education background. I studied economics, so I guess I can say I'm an economist by training, but a little further from that. I'm not actually an economist, but if it's based on what I studied in school, yes, I studied economics for my bachelor's and master's, and then I have a second master's degree in technology project management. I'm doing a PhD right now in information technology. So
Mm,
I transitioned along the way. I realized along the way that econ wasn't really for me. I was always fascinated by technology, but I always say that growing up in Nigeria, at the time when I did, I'm not that old, but at the time when I did, there just wasn't a lot of awareness about STEM programs or STEM degrees. So I didn't really know. I had exposure to computers from a very early age, but I didn't really know what careers I could pursue within that field. I don't think I'm designed to be like a computer scientist or software engineer, but there are also other things you could do in that space. And at that time, there just wasn't a lot of awareness. So if I could go back in time, I always say I would have studied something related to like maybe computer information systems or management information systems because I really enjoy technology, learning about technology and the intricacies of it. So anyway, along the line, I came to the US for grad school and discovered that I had this interest and then started to pursue it. And then I got my break into technology when I started working in consulting, and that exposed me to one area of technology. And then obviously I developed an interest in it. That's how I ended up going to do a PhD in it. And then today I work in tech. I work at the intersection of technology, business operations, and policy. And my work is pretty much, in simple terms, is thinking about content moderation on internet platforms. But it's pretty much making sure that we are creating a safe space on the internet for people to be able to transact or engage or do business without fear of being scammed or being defamed, things like misinformation or being exposed to graphic content. So preserving the integrity of our internet communities and doing that in a scalable manner. That's the theory of what I do
That's
and who I am.
that's a lot to only you.
Only me.
Only
Oh.
you. And so you made mention of something about not having enough exposure to STEM growing up. I think that's one of the things that we are trying to do on this my podcast is to be able to expose people to different sides of tech. Because when people think of tech, they think about programming, computer science, computer engineering,
Mm-hmm.
electrical engineering, and all sorts of maybe hardware, software. But there's still like other sides that you don't. I won't say you don't need technical experience or technical knowledge. You
Mm-hmm.
still need some form of technical knowledge, but there are a lot of there's a plethora of options where you can key
Mm-hmm.
into tech. Especially, for example, one of my favorite episodes was with Ekene when she
Mm-hmm.
was talking about
Yeah.
privacy,
Intellectual
intellectual
property.
property, and all sorts of you know. I didn't even know that when the photographer
That's
takes
a
it.
whole other world of tech that
Yeah,
people don't know about.
I didn't even know that when the photographer takes a picture of you, he owns that picture until he
Mm.
signs off the rights to you. I did not know. So you can use it to do whatever
You can do whatever I want with it.
with it.
Yeah.
I did not know. So that's one of the things that was huge for me. So question, your
Mm-hmm.
PhD, what is the
Yes.
what do you call it? I mean, you just started your dissertation, right? Have you?
I have. I'm in the middle of it.
Okay, so
That's part of why you can't reach me
yeah,
because I have too many things I'm doing.
yeah. So for like just a brief, just one or two lines, what is it capstone you call it, or what is like the topic about
Dissertation.
dissertation? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm studying the um AI is the buzzword that is around
Mm-hmm.
now. So my research is rooted in AI. One of the use cases for AI is cybersecurity. So I'm studying the intersection. Let me know the intersection, the relationship between cybersecurity and AI, and seeing what applications there are for small and medium businesses in the US.
Nice, nice. I feel like that's one of the things that I think that's one of the things Ekene too is venturing into how
Mm-hmm.
we can. So there are two sides of it, right? You are looking at the cybersecurity end of it, and
Yeah,
Ekene is looking at the law and ramifications of AI.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. Congrats.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I see it
Thank
go
you.
really far. It's something that we need to look into because AI now is like all over the
Yeah.
place.
AI
We need
is
to be able to regulate
everywhere. We need to look at regulation of
regulations.
AI,
Yeah,
yeah,
we need to be able to
moderation
regulate
of AI too,
moderation, regulation. You know,
and protecting the original creators.
yeah.
So intellectual property too.
Did you see the person? I don't know if you followed the story of Taylor Swift. They kept using her face to do some graphic uh
No, I didn't hear
posts.
about that.
Oh yeah, they arrest. I'm not sure. Don't quote me, but I think they are trying to arrest the person that is using the fake to post some graphic pictures of her, like really, really graphic.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
And I'm sure it looks very, very real.
It looks real. Like I've seen the pictures. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. So she's not like nude, but she's like very suggestive.
And it's not her.
Punctuation. It's not her. It's not her. She's not her.
Well, that's new. I
So
just
I feel
looked it
like
up.
they're about to sue the person. Yeah, not
But what is
arrest,
what I love
but
about the internet is the fact that they were able to find the person that was doing it.
funny enough, the person was boasting that they cannot find him. The Swifties cannot find him. He used
Oh, okay,
different.
so he casted himself.
Yeah, so I think the police are on it. Yeah, so that's one of the things that we need to be watchful, because I was wondering how it's going to be regulated, but it's all good. So, which of the episodes do you think resonates with you? It might not be like your best episode, but which one do you think
Mm-hmm.
resonates with what you feel about tech?
A couple of them. I want to say my favorite episode was probably the TPM episode by the technical product management episode by Debola.
Debola, yes, yes.
Um, and I really like the way she broke down what she does, probably because that's an area that I'm interested in. So remember how I said I'm not designed to be a software engineer, but I'm drawn more to like the management operations side of tech. So
Mm,
you would find me. I work as a program manager. You find me working. You find me interested in or looking up stuff around like product management. I like the technical elements of it, so I'm always trying to learn about like how hardware and software systems are designed. So I like the technical program product management field, and I really like the way that she broke it down. It made it seem like it was easy to understand,
yeah.
but also take like practical concepts away from it. And for me, I found that really helpful for like my own career aspirations. And then I also like the one with Larry, the product management, also because it's Larry. The way he breaks down concepts. I like the way he talks about what he does. He's always so
Larry.
fascinated by it. So being in conversations with him, you always learn a lot. So I like that one because
Larry.
again, it's
So
Larry.
I have a joke for Larry. Larry bought a
Hmm.
house recently, and every time he shows people around the house, he will tell you the history of
Everything.
how everything came together.
Everything came together.
The tree that the what that was fell,
The story
the
behind it.
story how the tree was fell to make this cabinet, what country it came from, how many years the tree was planted for, who watered the tree. This rug was handmade by this
All I know
person.
is proud of his house.
I'm like, Lana, please, nobody wants to hear this. Just say this is the room,
Story,
this
story.
is the
But I
bedroom,
appreciate the story.
this is the bedroom, this is the living room, this is this. Like, no, you say no. I have to tell you how the paint, who mixed what ratio of water with this one, this one. But yeah, he's very passionate when he talks about things that he really likes, and you will learn. Like you will learn. Yeah,
Yeah, you learn from it. That's the thing. It's
yeah,
not just talking, you actually learn.
yeah. So for me,
Yeah.
I think every episode was a hit because different
Mm-hmm.
people resonated with different topics, and I have had
Mm-hmm.
people reach out to me now. Oh, I like what this person said. This is so episode, and I was like, yeah. I mean, for me, I learned. I would say more than half of the episodes I am familiar with them, but
Mm-hmm.
the one with forward day,
Intellectual property.
if
Yeah.
the one with forward day, because I'm not really an entrepreneur person, so I learned a lot from
Mm-hmm.
him. Then the one with the intellectual property with the Kenne, I had absolutely no idea.
That was also one of my favorites too.
Yeah, my mind was blown. But when it comes to like cloud engineering support, that's my field. So I was like, okay, this is something I'm familiar with. So I kind of like flew with that one. So that one, so the cloud support part of it, I kind of connected
Mm-hmm.
with that because it's my field. But yeah, but it was an
I like the
interesting,
one with Ayo too.
yeah.
The He's so inspiring. He has done so much.
He's done so much. He's
And
done so much.
the initial question was like, tell me how you switch from chemical engineering to tech, and then it's like he didn't even study tech, and then he's now done so
He's done
much
so
within
much,
it.
man. Yeah.
Uh,
Sometimes when
that was a very good episode to start with.
sometimes I see him post openings. I'm like, dude,
That's his company.
yeah, that is something. I'm like, dude, this is huge because I always think I always see myself as one tech buff, and I see some of those shows. I'm like,
Mm,
I cannot do this. I cannot do this. Yeah, you need to hire somebody to do this. But yeah, it's dope. It's dope. It's yeah. It was season one was a success, in my opinion, because I saw
yeah. So,
I saw the Spotify rap. I was really happy with
how
what
many listens did you have?
from the impressions we had people listen to us from all over the world. We had people listen to us
Wow,
from the US, Nigeria, Canada, Kenya, Rwanda, the UK. So it was
wow.
like all over. Like, it wasn't. although we had majority of people listening to us from Nigeria and the US for obvious reasons, but we had like pockets of people listening here and there, South Africa. So it went far. It really went far. It wasn't something that was small, even though it was a short season, but it went
Yeah,
far.
the impact was far-reaching.
Yes, it was
That's
far reaching.
amazing.
Yeah, it's far reaching. So, do you have any question for me before we talk about season two? As per the
I think
producer,
what was the most challenging thing for you this season?
I think one of the first one was editing. It was that
Mm-hmm.
was that was very difficult at the beginning, but I guess as with everything, when you keep doing things repeatedly, you keep doing putting your mind into it,
It becomes
consistency, it
easier.
becomes easier. So I was able to like navigate the software I used to edit. Um, I think another challenging thing was getting people on their time because everybody's busy. People like moving, people are working. So being able to and time zones too. So being able to get people and record was a little bit challenging. It wasn't that difficult because my people that we invited on the podcast were very easy to reach. They were very easy to like for us to reconcile our calendars. It was easy,
Accessible.
accessible, but
Yeah.
it was still like okay, let us fish out things. Um, I think another I can't think of any other thing that was challenging to me that stood out.
Okay.
It was more like smooth sailing, honestly. It was okay, yes.
Would you do anything differently?
Wait,
Okay,
wait,
go
wait.
ahead.
I think another challenging part is I'm not a content creator in quotes. So
How so?
so okay, maybe I'm not using the right words, but social media like
Mm-hmm.
advertisement,
Like promoting on social
promoting,
media.
yes,
Okay, I see
promotion.
what you mean.
Yeah, I struggle with that. It's difficult, and I'm wondering how people are able to stay consistent
People do
with
it.
churning out.
What is difficult for you about it? Is it that you don't see yourself doing it, or you don't have patience for it?
Um, I would say my mind or my mindset has moved beyond that. So if it was like maybe like 5 years
Mm,
ago, my creativity was really like
gotcha.
dripping
You're not
towards
so interested in that.
anymore.
It's like a distraction.
Yes,
Yeah,
anymore. If it was 5 years ago, I was a meme lord. I
you're
was
in
the
that
GIF
headspace.
GIF GIF king. I was like, but now my mind is not has gone beyond that. Not like not I'm not saying people that are
I get
doing
it.
it are not doing it
Yeah.
the right way or are not
You
like
just want to do the work. You don't want to be bothered with the other
exactly.
creative aspect of it. I
Yes,
get it.
yeah. But yeah, that's one of the challenging things that I had to but I had to just do it. Just one of those things that you,
But you
you do
did
it.
pretty well with it. I mean, I went off Instagram for a while, but I saw that on LinkedIn you were pretty active. Like you
Yes,
used to share very
yes,
actively. So I
yes.
think that's one way. You
So
don't have to do too
yeah, so
much.
the thing is, I can do those things. Not that I cannot do. I can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm creative to do those things, but it just it's just kind of difficult for me to sit down and say I want to do this and get it done. But yeah,
Something I'm seeing people do is they're now content like professional content creators that you can pay.
yes,
So that's something that you really want, like you really want to take your promotion to the next level, but it's still a struggle for you. You can pay somebody to do it.
yeah. I probably will look into that in the coming
Mm,
episodes or coming season. But it's something I'm on the lookout for.
yeah.
You're about to ask me
Nice.
what I would
Yeah, I was
do.
saying, would you do anything differently?
Ah, I'm thinking. So one of the things I would love to do differently is to have these episodes one on one, face to face. So I think that's
Mm,
one thing I want to try to
that's like the
do.
vision.
Yes, I want to
Yeah.
maybe.
Would you want to have video, like a video component as well?
So the video component part of it is very challenging because then people are very conscious of how they look. So it's going to distract from
Mm.
how they will
And then
express
getting a
themselves.
studio space and all that.
Yeah, getting the studio space and all that. I mean, I can always get that done. There are options. But my point is people are conscious of how they look and how they sound. So that might kind of
Mm-hmm.
distract from what they are thinking and how they will express themselves in those episodes. So I'm trying to, but I know as with everything, it is possible. It is possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might venture into that video part of things too. I might. So that's something I would want to do differently.
Cool stuff.
Yeah. So season 2. Whoop whoop whoop. Yeah, we are season 2.
Let's go.
Season 2.
When
So
are we starting season 2?
I mean, we started season 2. This is like the introductory episode, but I want to go back to that our style of releasing the episodes bi-weekly. So it means I have to
Okay.
record quickly. I have to start recording with the guests as soon as possible. So we are looking at February. We'll see what we can do by February. I've started reaching out to people that I want to bring on. So everybody's waiting, like, oh yeah, I want to come. Just tell me time and how I'm going to get on. So people are really waiting. People are anxiously waiting to come on. And I also have people who are waiting for the episodes to be released so they can listen. We have a few of our mutual friends, you and I, and people that you don't know. I have Daddy Bolatito, one of my friends in the UK, Esther, Ayodele. There's one guy who is currently a professor, Ayotunde. He's a professor
Yes.
in tech. Yeah, we have. I'm bringing back Ekene. I'm bringing back,
Okay.
yes, and then there's one of my other. Um, I don't want to say he's kind of my mentor. He trained me. One of my jobs, very good guy, is coming on to. So when I messaged him that, oh, I want you to come on the podcast, he was like, sure, let's do this. Then he
That's
messaged me, yeah.
awesome.
Next thing, messaged me like, oh, he wants to talk about football, soccer. I'm like, dude, yes, I have a podcast for that. Don't worry, we'll get you on both platforms. Let's get it done. So people are really excited to come on. So for you, what are you looking forward to in season 2?
Season 2, I think I'm looking forward to building on what we've done in season 1. Also exploring other areas of tech. I know the first season we talked a lot about like product program management or technical product management. We talked about cloud, but now going to other areas as well. So I know you talked about some people you want to bring on. It would be cool to do something around cybersecurity.
Yes.
Maybe one cool idea I had, I don't know if we can pull it off for season 2,
Yeah.
but would be something around exploring the intersection between program management, project management, and product management. It's a question I get
Yes.
very often.
100%.
And I
Yeah.
just thought it would be cool to just have one episode with like people from each role.
Yeah.
And then they just talk about the intersections across their role and how they work together just to show like the differences. Because I think people get tripped up on those roles and tend to like mix them up, but they are completely different roles.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be also cool to maybe talk to like it's nice that you have a professor. I didn't ask what his specialty is. For somebody that works in like venture capital. So we've talked to startup like entrepreneurs, startup founders,
Mm-hmm.
but then talk to like the venture capitalists to know like what do they look out for as well, like understand more about their world and how they intersect with like the folks within tech. So those are some things that I think would be cool. But I'm just looking forward to just continue to build on the conversation and
Yeah.
learn from other people.
Yeah. So you made mention of cybersecurity and venturing into other aspects. So let me do a quick rundown. So I have somebody coming in from the medical field. So she is very like she has huge experience in medical field. So she'll be coming on to talk about how tech has helped the medical practitioners. Then I have somebody coming in to talk about recruitment and HR aspect of tech, how they recruit and get people into
Oh, that'd be
roles.
cool. Yeah.
Yes. Then I have somebody who's coming in to talk about how tech has helped influencing and content creation. So that's another thing that I'm kind of curious and I'm interested
Yes.
in. Then I have somebody come talk about cybersecurity. I have a professor come talk about how tech is being taught and what expectations are of schools who are teaching, teaching people the initial state or stage of you being a tech person. Then I have a kind of coming back to talk about the advancement that has been made in regulations and intellectual property, and we might even dive into deepfakes and all sorts. Then I guess I need to get someone to talk about the venture capital aspect that you spoke about. Which other one did you speak about?
I talked about cybersecurity.
Yeah, so there's somebody coming for cybersecurity. So I think
Which one is Ayodele doing?
Adele is doing cybersecurity
Okay, okay.
because that's his field. That's his field. He has
Yeah.
like, experience. Even though that one, I wanted to come on the podcast so we can fight because I need to fight because there's something about SREs. I'm like, dude, but yeah. So this no, honestly, this season is gonna be packed. It's gonna be
Mm,
interesting. I think I'll be more relaxed. I'll be more no
yeah.
more tension because the first season was like, oh, how do you go about this? But this season two, I want to be relaxed. I want to enjoy it.
Some piece of understanding.
Yes, and I want it to be more fun. I want it to be funny. So that's what I'm looking forward to for season two. Hopefully, we would cover enough grounds to be able to have I'll say the platform or
Mm-hmm.
the next season. So yeah, that's what we have for season two.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
excited.
yes. Oh yeah. I remember you talking about TPM, product management, product manager. So
Mm-hmm.
funny enough, Debola and Larry have been on my neck that they want to come back. They want a particular episode where three of them, I think including you two, so three of you plus
Yes,
myself,
so
we're gonna come.
that'll be fun, though.
Yeah, we're gonna come together and talk about dissect it. It might be chaotic because you guys love talking. Three of you love talking, so it's gonna be very chaotic for me.
I'm a
But
good listener in those types of conversations.
that's so. But it's gonna be chaotic, but we'll find a way around it. We'll find a way around it. So yeah,
Yeah,
we
we'll
have
see if we
everything
can even
covered.
pull off an in-person one for that one. Maybe you
Yes,
fly me in. Fly
don't
me in
worry.
and we can make it work.
You're my boss now. You're my boss. You're the all the money. It's you now. It's you. But yeah,
I want to come to ATL at some point, so I'll let you know, Sha. Maybe we can plan it in such a way that we just record and do that one at like an
yes,
in-person one.
yeah. So I have a podcast room that I'm working on
Uh-uh.
currently working on. No.
Even the podcast room.
So it's not for me. So my apartment where I stay, they have a
Oh,
podcast
okay.
location.
Is that one of the reasons why you go to the apartment? I
Yes,
feel good.
yes. So I'm still trying to iron out some things with them because the timing might not work for a lot of people because they said it's only open during working hours, and which is like 10 to
Oh,
6
that's challenging.
during the week. So yeah, it's very challenging. So I'm still trying to like iron out how I can go about getting a place at a very good time. But
I think
hopefully,
it depends on time zone. If you can beg people, if they can, like, if maybe you're in East Coast, I'm on the West Coast. If it's maybe something that maybe is at lunchtime my time, or maybe at the end of the day, I think there are ways to work around it. It will just be working with people and trying to appeal to them
yeah.
based on their schedule.
I remember
But what's the
it's
difference with the podcast room? Is it like a professional setup? Do they
yes,
have an
they have
editing software?
mics. No. I don't think they have any software, but I feel like I've entered. They have mics. They have like recording stuff. So it's like a studio.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So I remember even if I try to get people on,
Mm-hmm.
it might be booked too because it's a public space. So it's kind of have to navigate all that bottleneck. But I'm sure something will come up. I will come up with something to be able to resolve that. But
Okay.
yeah, that's the situation right now. So yeah,
Nice.
thank you for coming on. I know it's been
Thank you for
something
having
we're
me.
trying to do for
I'm
a
glad we
while.
could finally make it work on this one. So.
Finally, the boss herself. So
Ah,
for those that don't know, Yewande Marquis,
yes.
PhD,
So hit me
PhD
up.
in
Hit
view.
me up.
Yeah,
About to be,
PhD in view. You
about to
can
be doctor soon and very
Doctor
soon. By the end of
Doctor
this year,
Yui.
by the grace of God.
Amen. Oh, amen. Oh. So if you can hit her up on LinkedIn if you want. She mentors people too. She likes to
Mm.
gather people. Yes, remember briefly the conference. I just remember now the conference.
Oh yeah. Oh, and so what do you want to know about the conference? What
What
can I
was
say?
the
What was it about?
what was it about and your experience?
Yeah, so it's called Tech Connect Africa. It's put together by a group of tech employees. They're all mostly based in the US, I believe, across like big tech companies in the US. And they wanted to just create this platform for creating conversations or creating a network for people to come and engage around how technology is changing the landscape or how technology landscape is evolving in the diaspora, not in the diaspora, I'm sorry, how technology landscape is evolving in Africa.
Africa.
So they
Okay.
have it across multiple African countries. So there's Lagos, Accra, Nairobi, and I believe they're expanding to Rwanda. So I went to the Lagos one. A lot of the conversation was based on AI because yeah, was like one of the biggest hits of 2023 in terms of technology, and how Nigeria specifically tends would stand to benefit from the AI revolution. So there were conversations on there were different panel sessions, and each of them was talking about the different areas of AI. So there was one that talked about AI regulation. There were lawyers and policy experts who talked about what we need to know about like AI regulation and moderation in a country like Nigeria. There were employees from Meta, Google, I think someone from Microsoft in Nigeria, and they're talking about how all of these companies are investing in AI, and how their AI investments are projected to impact like the Nigerian economy, the African economy. There was also like what was it? There was like a pitch, a startup pitch session where we had like two different startups pitch, and then there were a panel of judges, and then the winning pitch pretty much got to take home some amount of money. But all in all, that was just like a recap of the session. But in general, I think for me it was cool to see like just these conversations happening. They have it every year. They have the events every year. They're in person every year, and every year there's a different thing. But it's just cool that we're having these conversations. For me, I tend to be more focused on the practicalities. So okay, yeah, we're having conversations, but like how are we going to apply all of these things? But it seems, I think for things like this, it's just nice to at least kick off the conversation. And these conversations can lead to, people networking and there and start up one or two things in terms of actually like making it a reality. So it was also good for networking. I got to meet a lot of cool people. There was a mix of expats, so people who were visiting Nigeria and live abroad in different countries. I met people from Dubai, France, Italy, Europe, Canada, US. So it was really, really cool to see. And then there were people who also live are based in Nigeria, working in tech, trying to get into tech. I met some people that work at Andela who work in different roles. I met some other people who work in like other tech roles within non-tech companies. So it was just very cool. It was a cool networking opportunity, and you remind me that I actually need to follow up with some of those connections. So yeah, cool to see the nice things that people are doing. As you talk to people, you hear about what people are building or what people have done, what they've built. There were some students as well who were also very enterprising, have businesses that they're trying to set up. And like I'll hit up one or two of them when I need like graphic design needs and stuff. But it was a nice event. I'm glad I got to go. My company was one of the sponsors, so I got to go for free. But otherwise, it would have been paid. So I'm glad I did get to even be there. Yeah.
So, question: how was the food?
Oh yeah, they gave us food too.
How
The
was
food
it?
was good. What do you mean I was this? It was in a very nice hotel on the island. It was buffet
Uh,
style.
oh
There
wow,
were a lot of food options. There were drinks. There were small chops. It was like Nigerian events. They did it. They planned it very well.
nice,
It was very
nice.
well planned. Yeah.
It's good. I plan to go to a lot of conferences this year. I need to get myself out there too. Hopefully, I get to even know about them and get invites. If I need to pay, then I have to consider sponsorship. But yeah, that's one of the
Sponsorship
things
for
I
that
plan.
type of event
No. Like in the US,
or
like
events in general.
conferences.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
conferences that are junior towards or surrounding tech space. That's what I want to do this year. Anyways, well, thank you for coming through. Let's continue the good
Yes.
work. Thanks for the
Of
support.
course.
Thanks for the background work.
Yes.
Um,
Let me know how you want me to plug in this year. Always happy to
yes,
help.
yes. Yeah, we just need to continue leveraging our network and also helping people. But part of the things I'm doing this year is to mentor people that want to get into tech, and I've had people reach out to me, and I've started the process. I've had people come on board too. So if you know anybody that wants to talk to me about
Mentor.
certain aspects of tech that I know, I would help. If I don't know, I'll put them in direction of people who do are experts in those fields.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining us for this recap and
Thank
what
you.
to expect for season two. Keep listening to us. We'll do better in this season two. And ciao. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.